There is a certain kind of strength that doesn't shout, it doesn't argue, it doesn't panic, it doesn't react impulsively, it simply stands firm. Imagine waking up every day knowing that thousands of lives depend on your decisions. That enemies are waiting for your mistakes. That betrayal could come from people sitting at your own table. That disease is spreading across your empire. That war is knocking at your borders. Now imagine facing all of that without losing your composure. That was the life of Marcus Aurelius. He wasn't just a philosopher sitting in a quiet garden thinking about life. He was the emperor of Rome, the most powerful position in the world at that time. Armies answered to him. Nations feared him. The weight of an empire rested on his shoulders. And yet, instead of writing speeches about power, instead of complaining about his enemies, instead of blaming fate, he wrote reminders to himself, private notes, personal reflections, honest conversations with his own mind. Those writings later became the book Meditations, not a guide for others, but a survival manual for his own thoughts. Think about that. The most powerful man in the world was not trying to conquer others. He was trying to conquer himself, because he understood something most people still struggle with today. Your greatest battle is not with the world. It is with your reactions. We live in a time where small inconveniences break people. A message left unread, a comment online, a delay in plans, and suddenly, our peace is gone. Marcus faced war, plague, betrayal, and still trained his mind to stay steady. Not because he was emotionless, but because he was disciplined. And in this video, we're not just going to talk about philosophy. We're going to talk about mental armor. 6 lessons that can help you stay calm when life tries to shake you. 6 lessons that can make you emotionally unbreakable, because power is not loud. True power is control over your own mind. Lesson 1. You can't control what happens. Only how you respond. Life has a way of throwing unexpected challenges at us. Someone cancels on you last minute. A friend betrays your trust. Your work goes unnoticed despite hours of effort. A plan you carefully built crumbles in an instant, and immediately, most people react the same way: frustration, anger, regret. They blame the world, the other person, or fate itself. They ask, "Why me? Why now? How could this happen?" And in that moment, they give away their peace, their power. Marcus Aurelius saw this every day. As the emperor of Rome, he faced far bigger challenges than most of us ever will. Armies needed decisions, cities demanded justice, and political rivals plotted endlessly. Yet he understood that the events themselves weren't what caused suffering. It was people's reactions to them. He wrote in his private reflections, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Let's pause on that. Most of us live as though the world owes us calm, fairness, or comfort, and when it doesn't deliver, we spiral. But Marcus's philosophy flips that completely. The truth is simple. You cannot control what happens. You cannot control other people's words, actions, or intentions. You cannot stop accidents, mistakes, delays, or betrayal. Life will always be unpredictable. But here's the powerful part. You can control how you respond. Imagine this. 2 people are stuck in traffic. One yells, curses, loses their temper, and arrives shaking with frustration. The other takes a pateai, deep breath, puts on calm music, and accepts that the situation is out of their control. Who experiences suffering? Who keeps their peace? The difference is not in the traffic, it's in the mind. Marcus practiced this every single day. When faced with someone rude or arrogant, he didn't lash out. He didn't stew. Instead, he reminded himself, "This is not mine to control. My only responsibility is my response. You can do the same." Next time someone criticizes you, pause. Ask yourself, is this in my control? If yes, act wisely. If not, let it go. The moment you stop reacting to what you cannot control, life changes. You no longer feel at the mercy of every insult, delay, or disappointment. Your mind becomes your fortress. Calm, strong, unshakable. It's not about suppressing emotion. It's about choosing which emotions deserve your attention. Anger, jealousy, frustration, these are natural, but they don't need to dominate your mind. Instead, Marcus teaches us to pause, reflect, and act with purpose. Life will always throw challenges your way. That's guaranteed. But you don't have to be a victim of circumstance. Your power lies in how you respond. Slow down. Breathe. Accept what is outside your control. Focus only on what you can control. Your mind, your actions, your integrity. This is the first step toward mental strength. And once you master it, you begin to feel a sense of freedom most people never experience. Freedom from reaction, freedom from chaos, freedom from unnecessary suffering. Because remember, events are neutral. It's your judgment that colors them. You have the choice to see challenges as threats or as opportunities to grow stronger. Marcus Aurelius didn't face easy days. He faced the full weight of an empire, and still, he stayed composed. Imagine what you could do if you applied the same principle in your life today. Lesson 2. Your thoughts shape your reality. Imagine this. Two people experience the exact same situation. One person loses a job. They immediately feel despair, anxiety, and panic. They tell themselves, "I'm a failure. Nothing ever works out for me." They replay every mistake they ever made, and the future looks bleak. Their day, their week, maybe even their year is ruined, all because of how they think. Now the second person faces the same event. They feel disappointment. Yes, it's human, but they tell themselves, this is a setback, not the end. What can I learn from this? They focus on opportunities, on solutions, on the things they can control. Their mind remains clear, and even in adversity, they find calm and strength. The difference isn't the situation, it's the mind. Marcus Aurelius understood this better than anyone. He constantly reminded himself, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Let that sink in for a moment. Most people think happiness depends on circumstances, wealth, status, relationships, events. Marcus flips this idea upside down. Happiness, peace, and strength don't come from external conditions. They come from the mind, from how you interpret the world, from the stories you tell yourself about what is happening. Think about the power in that. Your thoughts are like a filter on reality. They color everything you see. They determine whether life feels heavy or light, stressful or manageable, tragic or meaningful. You can suffer in paradise or find joy in a difficult situation. The choice is yours. Marcus wrote, "You are disturbed not by things, but by your judgment of them." He knew that human imagination is a double-edged sword. It allows us to create incredible art, inventions, and connections, but it also allows us to create suffering. We replay past conversations, imagine worst-case scenarios, worry about what others think, or invent tragedies that haven't happened. And suddenly, our mind feels like a prison. But Marcus trained himself to notice his thoughts, to question them, to decide whether they were serving him or harming him, and we can do the same. Next time a negative thought arises, pause. Ask, is this true? Is this helpful? Does this empower me, or does it hold me back? When you take control of your thoughts, you start to take control of your life. You stop letting fear, anger, or doubt dictate your actions. You start living with intention. You start seeing problems as challenges instead of disasters. Here's an example. Suppose someone criticizes you publicly. Most people immediately feel insulted, defensive, maybe even humiliated. That thought spirals. They don't respect me. I must respond. I must prove them wrong. And now one small comment has stolen your peace. Marcus would have approached it differently. He would have asked himself, does this criticism serve me? Does it affect my integrity or my ability to act rightly? Most likely his answer would be no, and he would let it pass, leaving his mind calm, focused, and free. The lesson is clear. Your external world is unpredictable, uncontrollable, often unfair. But your internal world, your thoughts, your judgments, your interpretations, is yours to master. Mental strength begins with awareness. You cannot control every event, but you can control your thinking about those events, and when you do, your perception of reality transforms. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are a master of your own mind. Marcus Aurelius faced armies, plagues, betrayals, and political intrigue. And yet, he trained his thoughts to remain disciplined, rational, and grounded. He understood that life will always challenge you, but your mind can remain unshakable if you govern it wisely. This is the second pillar of Stoic strength. Reality doesn't hurt you. Your interpretation of reality does. Take control of your thoughts, and you take control of your life. Lesson 3. Expect difficulty, so you are never shocked. Life has a way of surprising us, not always in good ways. Some people wake up expecting the world to be easy. They expect people to behave kindly, plans to go smoothly, and life to deliver fairness. And then, it doesn't. A sudden betrayal, an unexpected setback, a mistake, and their calm shatters. They feel shocked, frustrated, and defeated. Marcus Aurelius saw this over and over, in far harsher ways than most of us ever will. As emperor, he faced rebellion in the provinces, wars on multiple fronts, disease sweeping through the city, and advisors betraying him. Every day was a storm. Every decision could mean life or death for thousands, and yet he stayed steady. How? He trained his mind to expect difficulty. Marcus believed that suffering is a natural part of life, unavoidable, universal, and necessary for growth. He wrote to himself, "Begin each day by telling yourself, 'Today I shall meet with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness.'" Now, imagine doing that every morning. Instead of being shocked when challenges arrive, you anticipate them. Instead of panicking at disappointment, you see it as inevitable. This is not pessimism, it is preparation. It is mental armor. When you expect life to be smooth, every obstacle feels like an attack. When you expect life to be challenging, every obstacle feels like a test. Let's look at a simple example. You're at work, and a project you've been working on for weeks falls apart because a teammate made a mistake. If you expected perfection, you explode in anger. You complain, criticize, and maybe even blame yourself for not foreseeing it. Stress consumes your day. Your mind races. Your peace is gone. Now imagine the same scenario, but with Marcus's approach. You expected setbacks. You prepared for obstacles. You pause. You assess. You act. No panic. No wasted energy. Just focus and efficiency. The project is not perfect, but your mind is. The real power of this lesson is subtle but profound. By expecting difficulty, you never let life surprise you in a way that destabilizes your mind. You train yourself to respond with calmness, patience, and clarity. Marcus also understood that life is designed to test us. Every hardship is like a teacher. Every challenge is an opportunity to practice virtue, patience, courage, discipline, and wisdom. When you reframe difficulty as training, you stop fearing it. You stop resisting it. You start seeing it as part of the process. And here's the key. Expecting difficulty doesn't make life less enjoyable. In fact, it makes moments of peace, joy, and success even sweeter because they are not taken for granted. You approach life fully aware, fully present, and fully resilient. So, the next time life throws you an unexpected challenge, a rude comment, a failed plan, a sudden problem, remember, Marcus. Remember that difficulties are not punishments. They are inevitable. They are training. They are part of the path to becoming mentally strong. By expecting difficulty, you stop being a victim of surprise. You stop being a slave to circumstances. You remain calm, composed, and capable no matter what the world throws at you. This is the essence of Stoic preparation. Life will always test you, but if your mind is ready, you will never be broken. Lesson 4. Stop seeking validation. Most people spend their lives chasing approval. It starts subtly, a compliment, a like, a nod of recognition, and then it grows. Praise from friends, admiration from colleagues, applause from strangers. Somewhere along the way, we begin to define our worth by what others think of us. Marcus Aurelius saw this trap clearly. He was the emperor of Rome, the most powerful man of his time. Armies bowed to him, senators flattered him, citizens celebrated him. If anyone had reason to crave recognition, it was him. And yet, he didn't. He wrote to himself, "Fame, after death, is nothing. Praise from people who do not even know themselves is meaningless." Think about that for a moment. He didn't chase approval. He didn't need it to feel strong or good about himself. His inner life, his principles, and his integrity were enough. Now, compare that to modern life. We post a photo or a thought online and immediately check. How many likes? Who commented? Who agreed? Who noticed? And if we don't get the response we hoped for, our mood collapses. Our self-worth begins to shake. And all of that comes from outside us, from people who barely understand us, or from strangers who have no idea who we truly are. Marcus teaches a different way. Stop depending on external validation. Stop letting other people dictate your sense of value. Instead, ask yourself, did I act rightly? Did I keep my integrity? Did I follow my principles? If the answer is yes, that is enough. You cannot control what others think, and their opinions are fleeting. Praise can turn to criticism overnight. Approval can vanish as quickly as it arrives. True strength does not come from being liked or admired. It comes from being consistent, honest, and disciplined, from knowing that your worth is inherent, not borrowed. Let's take an example. Imagine you speak up in a meeting. You share an idea. Half the room ignores it. A few dismiss it. You feel small, frustrated, embarrassed. Most people would obsess over the reactions, replay the scenario in their mind, feel hurt, and maybe even shrink back next time. Marcus would have approached it differently. He would have focused not on applause or recognition, but on doing the right thing. He would have reminded himself, I acted with reason. I acted with purpose. That is enough. Validation becomes irrelevant when your inner compass is strong. The world can try to pull you into its drama, but if you anchor yourself internally, it cannot sway you. This lesson goes beyond social interactions. It applies to every decision, every action, every moment of your life. Stop chasing approval from people who are not invested in your growth. Stop letting praise or criticism dictate your emotions. Focus instead on your actions, your principles, your character. The result? You free yourself. Your energy is no longer scattered on seeking external recognition. Your mind becomes clear, calm, and focused. You act with purpose, not with the hope that others will notice. In a world obsessed with likes, followers, and appearances, Marcus Aurelius's reminder is revolutionary. True power is internal. Approval is fleeting. Integrity is permanent. When you stop seeking validation, You reclaim your peace. You reclaim your strength. You reclaim your life. Lesson 5. Your time is limited. Don't waste it. Time is the one resource you can never earn back. Marcus Aurelius knew this better than most. He ruled an empire. He faced war, disease, betrayal, and endless political chaos. Every day was precious. Every hour mattered. And yet, even with all the responsibilities of an emperor, he constantly reminded himself that life is fleeting. He wrote to himself, "You could leave life right now. Live fully today. Waste nothing." Think about that. Most people live as if they have unlimited tomorrows. We delay courage, delay growth, delay speaking our truth. We postpone important conversations. We linger in anger, jealousy, or overthinking. We waste hours scrolling through distractions. And then suddenly, years pass, and we realize that time has slipped through our fingers. Marcus's philosophy is simple but powerful. Time is your most precious possession. Protect it. Use it wisely. Imagine this. Two people live through the same week. One fills their days with complaining, arguing, procrastinating, and chasing trivial approval. They finish the week exhausted, frustrated, and empty. The other focuses on meaningful action, learning, relationships, and maintaining inner calm. They finish the week fulfilled, energized, and at peace. The difference isn't circumstance. It's awareness of time and how it's spent. Marcus constantly reflected on mortality, not in a morbid way, but to sharpen himself. He understood that death is inevitable, and the realization of life's impermanence creates clarity. When you understand that your time is limited, you stop arguing over small things. You stop tolerating toxic people unnecessarily. You stop procrastinating on your growth. You stop wasting energy on things that don't matter. Every moment becomes an opportunity. Every day becomes a gift. Here's the subtle power of this lesson. Awareness of time creates urgency, but not panic. It motivates you to focus on what truly matters: your values, your goals, your relationships, your mental strength. Think about Marcus standing in his palace, knowing armies might fall, provinces might rebel, and yet reminding himself to act virtuously and thoughtfully each day. He didn't waste energy on things outside his control. He didn't waste time seeking praise. He concentrated on what mattered, acting rightly, mastering his mind, and living fully. And this is the lesson for you. Life is happening right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. Right now. Stop wasting your energy on anger, resentment, or petty drama. Stop waiting for perfect circumstances. Stop letting distractions steal your focus. Marcus's reminder is timeless. Every moment spent wisely compounds into a life of strength, peace, and fulfillment. Every moment wasted is gone forever. When you embrace the fact that your time is limited, life gains intensity. You become deliberate. You live with purpose. You act with integrity. You cherish each moment, each experience, each connection. The truth is simple but profound. You cannot add hours to your life, but you can choose how fully you live the ones you have. Time is fleeting. Awareness of it creates power. Use your time as if it matters, because it does. Lesson 6. Be good. Even when others are not, one of the hardest lessons Marcus Aurelius taught himself, and one of the most powerful lessons for us, is this: your character is yours alone. The world will act unfairly. People will lie, cheat, and betray. Others will insult, belittle, or harm you. Life will throw injustice your way, again and again. Most people react to this by becoming bitter, resentful, or cruel in return. They let other people's behavior dictate how they act, how they feel, and who they become. Marcus Aurelius refused to follow this path. He wrote, "If someone does wrong, it is out of ignorance. That is their problem. Do not let it touch your Character. Think about that for a moment. As emperor, Marcus faced people who schemed against him daily. Senators lied, advisors betrayed, friends turned enemies. And yet he did not let their behavior corrupt his own virtue. This is not easy. It goes against our natural instinct. Human beings crave retaliation, revenge, or at least recognition of injustice. But Marcus understood something profound. Responding to cruelty with cruelty doesn't restore balance. It destroys your peace. It weakens your mind. He believed that our true power lies in our response, not in controlling what others do, but in controlling who we are. Here's an example for modern life. Someone at work spreads a rumor about you. Your first instinct is anger. You want to yell, retaliate, or gossip in return. Most people would. That is natural, human, instinctive. Marcus's approach would be different. He would pause. He would reflect. Their action is theirs. My response is mine. Will I act with integrity or let this pull me into negativity? The strongest choice is to act with virtue, regardless of what others do. To remain honest when others lie. To remain kind when others are cruel. To remain disciplined when others are lazy or reckless. This is Stoic wisdom at its finest. Do not let the chaos of the world control the calm of your soul. Your moral compass is yours. Protect it. Follow it. Do not surrender it for temporary satisfaction, revenge, or approval. Being good in a world that is often unfair is not weakness. It is strength. It is freedom. You free yourself from the emotional chains that bind so many people. Anger, resentment, jealousy, and hatred. Marcus also understood that every interaction is a chance to practice virtue. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Patience. Someone insults you online. Restraint. Someone betrays you. Integrity. Life will always provide opportunities to test your character. The question is, will you rise or will you fall? By consistently being good, even when others are not, you build an inner fortress. You develop mental strength, emotional stability, and a sense of peace that is unshakable. You learn that your happiness does not depend on the world's behavior, but on your own. In the end, Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire not by forcing obedience, but by mastering himself. He conquered chaos, injustice, and human cruelty, not by fighting them outwardly, but by remaining steadfast inwardly. This is the final lesson. Be good, no matter what. Protect your character. Let others act as they will. Your mind, your integrity, and your peace are yours alone. And when you master this, you achieve true freedom. The freedom to remain calm, strong, and unshakable, no matter what life throws at you. Marcus Aurelius ruled one of the greatest empires the world has ever known. Yet the battles he faced were not just on the battlefield. They were inside his mind. Every day he faced betrayal, chaos, disease, and the weight of responsibility. And still, he remained calm. Still, he remained disciplined. Still, he remained good. The lessons he wrote for himself almost 2,000 years ago are not just philosophy. They are practical tools for living a strong, meaningful life today. He teaches us that life will always be unpredictable. People will disappoint us. Plans will fall apart. Circumstances will be unfair. But your mind, your choices, your character remain yours to control. You cannot control what happens, but you can control how you respond. Your thoughts shape your reality, so guard them carefully. Expect challenges, and you will never be shocked. Stop seeking validation, because true strength comes from within. Time is limited, so every moment matters. Be good, even when others are not, and your character will become unshakable. These aren't just lessons. They are a blueprint for mental strength, emotional freedom, and calm in a chaotic world. Imagine what life could feel like if you truly embraced them. If you stopped reacting to every insult, every setback, every distraction, if you treated every challenge as training, if you focused on integrity over approval, action over delay, and virtue over convenience, you would feel powerful, not in the way the world measures power, wealth, fame, influence, but in the way that truly matters, inside, calm, grounded, free. Marcus Aurelius didn't seek praise. He didn't chase happiness. He mastered himself, and that mastery is timeless. So take a moment. Reflect on your own mind, your thoughts, your reactions, your character. Ask yourself, am I living deliberately? Am I letting life control me, or am I choosing how to respond? Because in the end, life will test you. It will challenge you. It will push you to your limits. But your power, your true unshakable strength, comes from mastering yourself. Stand firm, stay calm, act with integrity, and carry these lessons with you every day. The world may be chaotic, but your inner world, that is yours to command. And when you master that, nothing outside can shake you.